Alright, so we got our 2012 Terrain with a 2.4. We're going to take the air cleaner and the snorkel off to get the cover off the engine. So we got two 8mm. We got one here. We got one down here. And have on this side over here, we got a little hose. I'm just going to gently pull this thing out. It's got a little O-ring on it. Make sure that that's intact. And there's supposed to be a bracket holding this thing on, but I don't see one. I think it's just the snorkel that's holding it down, so let's see if we can lift it up. Okay, get that off. Get that off there. We'll see if we can just pry it up and hold the bracket. There it goes. Okay. It popped off.
So that's what's holding it in?
We're going to take the serpentine belt off.
So this is your belt tensioner to take the tension off the belt.
Yeah. Okay. Alright, well, I'm going to get this thing in that square hole here. For some reason. Alright. Okay. I gotta get a pry bar and push that thing in more.
So we'll set up right like that.
Okay. So push on it like that. Then we can slip this belt off. It's got plenty of room to slip it off the compressor.
Yep.
And it goes up around the alternator. And I got some room in here, which is actually kind of nice. And I could probably leave this ratchet right on if I had to change this belt. Go up around the alternator. And then come down with it. And then we could slide it right over here. But, you know, of course the ratchet's right in the way. So, we can slip it out. So it's not too bad of a belt now.
It's not that big of a belt.
No. Got a 10mm gear wrench. We're going to take this off. We're going to clean our terminals anyways while we have this off. Don't hit any metal, it's going to short out if you do. Alright, so we'll get that off, just tuck it out of the way. And we'll clean this all up after we get the alternator changed. So I got some 13mm, we're going to check with that alternator. And let's get a wrench down there. Got a little quarter drive set up, I'm not sure. Alright, get that one loose.
Is that 13 mil?
Yeah, and I don't know if it's deep enough for this one. Yeah. No, actually, strong enough to crack it loose. And there's one down here on the bottom. We're gonna get down here. Yep. Now we disconnected the little small electrical connector on it, but we got the big one that we have to disconnect. So I'm gonna try and take this bolt out first. This is what they call like a T-mount alternator. The way that it's mounted. So I'll get this bolt out, and then when we take the other two off, we're going to lay the alternator on its side. We'll show you the battery cable leg that we got to get off. I think it's a 10mm nut, and like I said, it's kind of in a crappy spot to get to over the AC compressor. I think when we lay the alternator down on its side, I think we're going to have a better chance of getting at it. So I'm kind of going to go that route with it, see if it works out for us. Okay, get the bottom one out. Set that up there. Let's get these two top. We'll get this one off here. Now this is probably a stud that's going to stay on the engine, and we may, in our best interest, remove this stud, which is probably what we're going to end up doing with the reverse Allen, reverse Torx bit. and we'll see if it'll come out, because otherwise we're gonna have to slide this alternator way up here to get this off, and that might be a pain in our butt. So I'm gonna see if I can get the reverse torque and take that out right now. I got like a 3/16 socket, man, Jesus, wicked small to 5.5, and the 4.5 was too big. Couldn't find a 5mm, and I get this 3/16 to go on this, so I'm taking the stud out now.
So you have to take that stud out to slide the alternator forward, right?
Yeah, towards the radiator, and it's just gonna make it tough for us to, if we leave it in, so.
Yeah.
Take it out, and then we got the last bolt over here to take out, and then we'll take the 10mm battery cable off of it. Okay, so we got that out, and this is a 3/16 little tiny socket that we found. So, okay, let's get this last 13 out. I'm going to try and rotate the alternator so that we can get it that 10mm. Now the battery's disconnected. We don't have to worry about anything shorting or anything. So, alright, looks like we're at the point of no return here.
That's what she said.
Get that out. Get that out. Okay, so let's see if we can see this. So this cable is kind of in our way, and here's the cable coming up right here with the 10. I'm gonna try and rotate this thing so that we can get at it. And this might be our best shot, you know, to get at it with the wrench from underneath.
Okay.
It doesn't look like there's too much room to pull on this cable here. Okay, so here's our best shot. I'm gonna peel the boot back, and then we'll get this. It looks like a 13.
Yep.
So that's kind of our best shot to get this thing off. So we got the same 13 that we've been using. And boy, this little plug just wants to go right there, doesn't it? Just doesn't want to go anywhere else, but right in our face. So let's try and find a spot for it to hide. There it goes.
There you go. Oh, that pain.
Okay, so of course once you get it loose, it's probably just finger tight. And when we set the alternator back down in place, we're going to have to get this on first. It looks like it, yeah, and it's going to go in one way, the way it's coming onto this thing. So. Okay, we got it off. There, the nut's off. Let's get the cable. The cable just fell off. So the alternator should be loose now. The question is, can we finagle it up through this hole? Alright. So this is the 120 amp alternator, which is the most common one. There was a 125 and 130 amp. The T-mount looked a little different on it. And so this was the 120 amp, and it's very difficult to see this when it's in chassis. So I'm going to match up our new alternator, which we bought, which is 120 amp. So everything pretty much looks the same as far as the mounts go. Here, recess back. Our plug looks the same. The electrical plug looks the same. And then our mounts in this spot is the same. And then we got to look at our pulley. And the pulley is the same. We match them up. So this is the correct alternator. So we've got to slip this down into place like we just had it. This isn't going to be easy. I'm going to try and stuff this thing back down in there. That was tight. going in, coming out. Gonna be tight going in, I'm sure too. So,
Hey, popped right in.
gravity's helping us.
Yep.
Okay, so we have to rotate this thing a little bit more. Okay, and I'm gonna try and grab that cable now down here. Pull it up onto the eyelid. This isn't gonna be easy.
Nope.
I was pressing the eyelid on, being such a bastard, but you got it.
It's gonna take a little finagling to catch that nut with your fingers.
Yeah, it's tight. You see, and the boot just wants to keep springing back in place on you. Tighten it up with the 13. Okay, it's tight. Okay, and the boot's just falling back in place now. Now, let's rotate this back up in place. This other wire, which down here that was sticking us in the eyeball, let's just put it on now.
Just push it in place.
Yeah. Okay. Now we got this first bolt that we took off over here. Let's get this first one in. Pull it up in place. Okay. There you go. Okay. We're gonna run this one down so it's close, but we won't tighten it. And then we're gonna get the second one in up top, the stud that we took out. So, snug this up. Okay. Get the stud here, the socket. Let's snug this up. Now if we can find a way to get our socket off, we'll be good. Let's get this bottom one in. Make sure this bolt goes in straight. It doesn't go through the hole. It's not going to start. I just started it on a little bit of an angle and it didn't feel like it was catching. And let's get this top one a little loose again. I don't think it's tight, but just want to make sure. Okay. We got to move this alternator around a little bit to get this bottom bolt to start. So to catch this bottom one, I loosened the top one up here and have to catch the bottom one so that pull the alternator back to catch it. And it looks like it's good. I'm going to tighten it up now. And so we're getting this last bolt nut on. 13, and we're going to tighten all these 13s down. That was tight. That was tight. That was tight. So we got our little electrical connector plugged in here. We got our big electrical connector plugged in for the battery feed to it. We're going to put it back up in the air and we're going to get the Serpentine belt back on it. We got our new belt, we got the gates. We just wanted to match it up, give the stretch test, make sure it's correct. It is. And we're going to go slip it on. We're going to try and slide the belt up back up in place. We'll go around the alternator first.
Yep.
And it's kind of nice. We can reach up here in a way. Get it. Some of the stuff. Okay, we're on that. go the belt sideways around the compressor. Okay, so we're on compressor. We're on the alternator. And then go around the crankshaft. Now we got to pull this down, but we have to get the belt, the tool on the tensioner. So I'm going to try and tuck the belt in like this, get the ratchet on the tensioner, and then maybe do the crankshaft last. See if we can get it that way. So let me get the tool up here on the, up in the hole, the square hole. Let me get that up in there. Okay, it's kind of difficult to get this ratchet in here, but I get it in there. And we gotta get this around the crankshaft. There you go. Very tight, man. Okay, so can you see up around the alternator? We good?
Yep.
You gotta get the light up in
Get the
there.
light up in there.
Okay, that's good.
Yep.
And it looks like it's okay. It's on the compressor, good.
Yep.
All right, we just gotta pry our ratchet off now. All right, we're cleaning our battery terminals here. You can buy one of these terminal cleaners at all your local parts stores, and we're gonna clean this part of it here too. Okay, we'll reconnect the battery. Okay, we're gonna pull this one off, and we'll clean this one as well. This has a different thing that holds it down to tighten it, looks like. Get the ground side off. Let's get the bottom done. Slip this on.
They got a good connection.
Yeah. Okay, so we got a 10 millimeter that goes in here. Then we've got a 10 that goes down. This one has a stud on it right here. And then there's one in here that you have to line up. Zip pen. So yeah, to get at the battery, you got to take these off. Just snug these down. And then we got this cover folds back down over here, and we have a couple button plugs for that. We got one button plug here. Another one down here, and you've got plug here. I got to get the spade for this one, and that's what's just holding this down. Then over here we got a little cover. Got this cover here that just sat on this. It just locks into these little clips. It slides in place like that. Slides out, slides in place, and that's it for that. We have the two rubbers in the back over here. I'm going to put a little dielectric grease right here on these.
help it to slide on easier.
Yeah, you know. Just a little bit in here. Okay, we'll line up the ear cleaner now. Snorkel. Got this coming back over here. We gotta get these to line up, so let's get this on right there, and then those lined up nice, and okay, right then lined up nice. We'll tighten these up with we use the 5/16 or the 8mm, if you will. We'll tighten these up. Just snug it up, you don't have to kill it. I'll put the one down here that we're putting on. Clamp looks pretty centered. Yep, we'll go with that. We'll push down on the back over there, so that's all set. And we just have our little side connection to put in here. Looked at the O-ring, it's good. We cleaned it all up. Matter of pushing that in. So the top half of the engine is all back together.
That's all you need to do to get the top half of the cover back together.